Welcome to the Copado Architect Corner, setting up for Copado AI org intelligence. Hello, it's been a really interesting time since AI exploded in the IT industry. ChatGPT just was amazing, and I used it so much I would actually nickname working with it. I'm working with Chuck. I'm going to go talk to Chuck. I'm going to see what Chuck thinks. With Copado, we came up with our own AI, and since we're based in Spain, I nicknamed it Carlos. And so I've been doing development where I'll have Chuck open in a browser, Carlos open a browser, and I'll be doing the same task and trying it different ways, seeing both the strengths and weaknesses of Chuck and Carlos. Also been using the GitHub Copilot and using its capabilities. So they've all been running about the same, but just recently we gave Copado, Chuck, new capabilities. First, we gave it the ability to reach into your governance org, your Copado org, see your user stories, and be able to take actions, requirements. And then recently, Chuck, Copado AI, can now see into a developer org or an org you designate and look at your metadata and data and really help you with the development process. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how to set up Copado AI, what I call Carlos, to be able to connect to an environment, and I'm going to show you some really cool things that you can do with it. So first, let me set the stage. Right now, I'm logged into Copado AI. You'll see I have these different types of agents that I can work with: my expert, my plan, my build, operate, release. And I have a concept of a workspace. And a workspace is a place where I can upload my own documents that might be client-specific, project-specific, and these get added to the RAG, which allow Copado AI to take them into account with the AI response generation. So it's my ability to add my own documents in there and really help with the generation. And I'm going to be showing you that potentially in later videos. What the new power is if we come over here, this is a Copado trial org that I spun up, nice and clean, and I have this Dev3 environment. This Dev3 environment is a new dev org that I spun up, fully Agentforce enabled. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be telling Copado AI how it can connect to the Copado pipeline and how it can connect to the Dev3 environment. So let's start here. So you're on your workspace and you go to workspace details. Now I can see the overview, users that I can allow, but I also have integrations. So from here, I can see that I can set up an integration with Copado and for my deployments and Salesforce for my work. So first, let's connect Copado. So it's asking for a name and an API key, and I'm going to show you how to get that. So we're going to call this the API or the AI demo. And to get the API key, what we're going to do is I'm going to go to my pipeline, and here I'm going to go to the account overview or account summary, excuse me. And from here, I can go to API key and grab my API key, come back over here, paste that right here, and hit the next step. The next thing I can do is I'm going to pick my Dev3 credential. I'm going to pick the project, and you'll see Actions API key. What I'm going to be doing is going back to Copado, and there is another tab. Let's do here, mistype it. You'll see here's the Actions API. And I have created an API key. You do this by going new, and then you enable the actions that you want it to be able to do when it expires. And then from here, it generates an API key. I can copy that key, come back over here and go to the actions key and hit connect. So this is allowing Copado AI to connect. Now I'm also going to authorize it into my developer org. So what I'm going to go here is I can go into my environments. Here's my Dev3, and this allows me to go onto the credential, and I can get the username. So right here, I am going to hit connect. We'll go dev3. And not a sandbox. This is a developer org. Paste in the username and the password. So I am controlling which org it has access to, and there I am allowing the scopes. And now I have connected. So we have now connected our governance org and our developer org, and I can see that by creating a new chat. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go to this dev3 credential. We're going to open the credential. So we're jumping into dev3, and I had created a couple of fields, and I'm going to show you those fields. So we're going to go to Setup, Object Manager, Account, and Fields, and you'll see that I have a balance 1, a balance 2, and a total balance. So I've created 3 custom fields inside dev3 on the account object. So I can come back here and I can ask a prompt. Tell me the custom fields on the account object. So this is going to show you that this can go into the org and look at your object and know there it is. There's the existing active and priority for my Agentforce org, but you'll see it can see my balance 1, balance 2, and total balance. All right, now we're going to show you the integration with the governance org. I created a user story. It says create a trigger to update total balance on account, and I've given it no other details. I have connected this to the dev3 org, so just connected to dev3, and all it has is this title. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to AI, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to say, tell me about this user story. And this is going to demonstrate the ability to connect to the governance org, and in this case, go look up a particular user story and interface with it. Let's see what it comes up with. So it's got the user story details, and it appears to be created and ready for development. Now what we're going to do is please update the implementation details for the trigger. And you'll see that it's looking into the org, it's looking for existing triggers, and it's going to see the balance 1 and balance 2 summed up into total balance. And this is doing this by looking into the org. It's first looking into the governance org, seeing my user story, and second, it's looking to the developer org and seeing what needs to be done. So based on the requirements, we're going to take a look. It's already started. It's making suggestions to create the total balance trigger, to create a balance handler. And here's even the test class. And let's keep going. And it's got both balances, test nulls. It's wrote the test classes, and it's got the before insert and the before update. And it's asking us to deploy this. So what I've done is I've taken the trigger and dropped the trigger in. I have created the trigger handler, just cut and paste this in, the total balance trigger handler right here. And then I have dropped in the total balance handler test class. So you can see that all I did is take my 3 ones. So we've got the trigger, the Apex class for the handler, and for the test. So you make sure you've quick saved on the handler because it's called by the trigger and the test. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run the developer console. We're going to go to tests, new run. Look at all these tests that are there, and I'm going to hit run. and we're going to see it run its test classes, see how well it does. And I go to tests, and you'll see they all pass. So just like that, I have created an integration to Copado AI. It had the ability to see my balance 1 and balance 2 and total balance. And it wrote the trigger, the handler, and the test classes. So as you can see, it was a very straightforward process to take my Copado AI, have my workspace, authenticate it to my governance org so it can see the user stories, authenticate it to my dev org, couple clicks, so that way you can see balance 1, balance 2, and total balance, and then it can start generating code right from there. Thank you for joining. May the AI be with your org, and make sure you like and subscribe, and there'll be a lot more videos where we show some of the other great powers. Thank you very much.